What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ, and we are locked in. Hey, this is the #1 place for these all-American recaps. You know me, I break it down better than anybody gonna break it down. The writers should be calling me talking about, all right, Mo, how you want us to do the next episode? But enough of all that. We got the last episode canceled, episode 8, before we come back in April. But before we get into all that, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and be a part of this, hit the subscribe button, turn your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Oh yeah, hit the like button. It's 2021, man. We gotta get that engagement up. But last week we got to see what went down in Vegas. And my boy Spence is pimping all over the world. He got Layla, he got Liv going crazy. He even got Coop a little bit jealous. But that's a different story. What we do know is a lot of relationships this week just didn't start off good for my boy Spencer. Now, he just got done telling Layla the story about how he loves Liv in Vegas. You know what, Layla? At that point, me and you weren't together, so I felt it was best for you because you cared so much. I was going to wait till we got back together to even bring it up. AKA Spence was saying, hey, you know, I cared about you so much. I didn't tell you I was in love with another woman. And she's like, what? That doesn't even make sense. You know what, Spence? We're done. And now you know Spence. But, damn, Spence. You should just kept that to yourself, man. You should let Liv come out with that. And believe it or not, young Dylan comes around the corner talking about, Spence, you good? Spencer said, nah, man, I kind of messed up. And then he starts asking him, how bad did he mess up? Is it this bad, or is it cussing a black mama out bad? And Spencer's like, man, it's real bad. Matter of fact, you know what? Get dressed, man. I'm gonna take you to school. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have time. Just come roll with me for a little bit. So Spence got to clear his mind. And who else better to do it with than his young brother who's going through withdrawals because Darnell left. Spence is back, but Spence is trying to save the community. Hey, man, let's go, Dylan. Let's go have some brotherly time together. Now, mind you, this is California, so they going to school. It's bright and early. They talking about, let's stop by the park first. Let's play some catch, you know. Show you my world, Dylan. And Dylan's like, okay, cool. But when they get there, we have a new antagonist. Some young man comes over. He got skinny jeans on, the book bag. He talking about, yeah, Spence, I know who you are, man. I can lock you up. You ain't Black Jesus. You can't save Crenshaw. And for some reason, these young men feel the need to get into it with everybody. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know who you are, dog. That's nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no problems with you, bro. I'm just about to play with my little brother before we go, you know what I'm saying, to school. And Dylan even steps up like, man, back off, man. So Dylan became a tough guy. He became a lover boy. All of this within one season. Now he's helping Spencer out with everything. Now, y'all have to keep in mind, this is California. It's bright all the time. They in sunny Southern California. Now we have to keep in mind, they in sunny L.A. Sunny California. It's really sunny in the morning time. I didn't know it until I moved out here, even though I'm up in the Bay, but it's sunny for the most part. These dudes is going to the park, play some football before school starts. Now we have a new antagonist. He comes over, he sees Spencer out there. It's like, man, I know who you are. You think you can come back here and save the school? And Spencer, he just falls for the bait, talking about, hey, man, I don't know who you are, but you better not be talking that. And of course, Dylan being his brother, he steps up. Hey, man, you need to back off. So not only did Dylan become a lover boy and giving Spence advice, he became a tough guy and he stepped up for his brother, all within one season. We remember Dylan being this tall. Now Dylan this tall, he think he running things. But Spence just fell for the bait of this guy talking about, hey, man, I can lock you up. Now, it's got to be about 8 in the morning. These two are out playing football. The game is, if Spencer can catch 3 balls, he wins. If the other guy can deflect 3 balls, he wins, but it's out of 5. And you know, Spencer gets out there. He got his do-rag on, his gloves and everything. He out there, he catching, boom, boom, boom. But then all of a sudden, the tables turn. This young man is locking up. Mind you, they're playing one-on-one. It's only so much you can do playing one-on-one because it's like, hey, it's whatever route he runs. It's just man coverage. But these two, they playing their tail off before school, about to go on school, sweaty, stinking. But, hey, man, this new DB, he ends up locking Spencer down. It turns out this young man goes to Crenshaw. So Spencer's looking around like, what? And Dylan says, man, he goes to your school. Why isn't he on the team? So no one knows who this new character is. But what we do know is he can play some defense. And he said he did that in some skinny jeans. So if a dude is liking Spencer James, state champion Spencer James, city star Spencer James, he's doing it in skinny jeans. Oh yeah, we got to get this kid on the football team, whoever he is. Miss Tamia and Kia. Now y'all know Tamia's still a junior, right? Them grades ain't where it needs to be, and she just walking around school like everything's fine and dandy. But it comes on the loudspeaker. Oh, guess who's going for a homecoming queen and homecoming king? We got Kia and Tamia for the women. Let's get it. And we got Spencer James and Chris for the kings. Now, all of these four, they're all together. Now, I don't know how Tamia got elected for this because she's a junior. So I don't know how she's going to be on the queen level when her grades aren't there. The school needs to do something about that first. Like, hey, if you ain't got the grades, you can't participate in this. But she's running against her best friend, Spencer. I won't say running against because she'll be on the queen and he'll be on the king. So it's a potential. It's a potential for them two to win together, but it's also potential for Spencer to win with Kia. Now, we know that's his ex. So who knows? Let's see how this works out. Now, we do know that Tamia, aka Coop, ended her relationship with Spencer. And now they see each other in the hall after they both get their names announced. Like, dang, I could probably win this. They look at each other and they kind of hurt because at the end of the day, they're still friends. You're still going to have that bond for them. Even if you don't talk to somebody you used to be cool with, you still won't do anything negative or ill towards them. So that's the kind of friendship they have. They still love each other like brother and sister. But it kind of looked like Coop felt a little different when she was looking down the hallway at Spence. But that's a whole nother story. Spence can't have Layla, Liv, Kia, and Coop, can he? Spencer pulls up on Billy. Hey, Billy, guess what, coach? I played against this guy earlier. His name is Jabari Long. He could really help us out. Now, Billy, he's not even thinking about that. He's talking to Spencer about running for homecoming king and how he wrote up a little letter talking about what he's going to say for his speech. But, Spencer is pretty much an assistant coach now / general manager / player personnel. And he's like, man, this dude Jabari Long, he's a beast. He can help us. So they look him up. Turns out he's a junior, but his grades, they're inactive from last semester. And they need players on the roster, but the new principal Carter changed the GPA to play. So now we have another dilemma. This young man Jabari can play, but his grades aren't high enough because of Coach Carter. I mean, not Coach Carter, but Principal Carter making these rules to make it harder for Billy because he's still mad that Billy whooped his ass when they was in high school. Layla, she's real hurt. She's the most hurt person on the show right now because of everything that Spencer did. Now, she's sitting down with Coop and she's trying to tell Coop, look, you got to get this schoolwork done, man, because when we go on the road and stuff, I'm telling everybody, all the promoters, that school comes first with you and you need to be focused on that. And Coop's like, I don't want to be focused on that. My eyes is on the prize and that's going on to do my thing. But why you keep looking around, Layla? Spencer ain't coming in here because that's who she really wants to talk to. Whether she's hurt or not, she still has love for Spencer. Now, Kia comes in with her little flyers talking about, yeah, Coop, you need to start working on yours, but I'm going to go hard for mine. But how dope would it be if you and Spencer won as friends? So now this got Coop thinking, oh, that would kind of be dope because Spencer's like my brother. And then Layla hears it and she's like, oh, let me get out of here because I don't want to hear anything else about Spencer. Not right now, my heart's broken. Now Billy running around the school, he ain't got nothing to do anyway. He talking to Principal Carter. Hey, look, you got to change that GPA because it ain't fair, man. You raised it higher than what everybody, saying that what's acceptable by the city and the state. And the principal makes a valid point. I'm not trying to have these kids dependent on football. I'm trying to help them get their education up. Football shouldn't be what they fall back on. The education should come first and then sports. Now, Billy's like, come on, man, we on limited resources. Help me out. Help a brother out, man. The HBO special. I got that from the Poor Man podcast. But help a brother out. And Carter's looking at him, man, I'm not helping you, bruh. No, I got plans for this school. Spence pulls up to the house, and guess what? They got Earls on Crenshaw. Smelling good in here, mama. why we don't eat girls during the weekend. We don't listen to your gospel. Mom, you must have won the contract on the new garden at the school. And Grace, hey, I'm just doing my part to help keep the school. Now, Spencer, he's kind of down and out because he just had to break up. Dylan's talking about which one because, he pretty much then broke up his friendship with Coop. He broke up his relationship with Layla. Liv really ain't feeling him like he thinks because she ran off on him. So he's sitting there. And then also with that comes, man, I got the school on my back, man. And, man, we suck, Mom. Our good players, they ain't here because of their grades. And Dylan's saying, man, well, maybe they can get a tutor and get their grades up. And his mom makes a valid point. You're only about halfway through the school year. So you guys' record really doesn't mean nothing until you get your district games at the end. That's when you actually make the playoffs, after you win your district games. So they still have a chance. Jordan comes down and, hey, Mom, she down here, she doing her little work and stuff. He talking about, we need to make sure we need to make sure she's good because she's not really feeling school at this moment. She's seeing Asher at school, and that's tough on her because he's kind of with Vanessa. I think she needs a day off to clear her mind. But if she gets a day off, can I get a day off too? And Mama Baker, she talking about, nah, this is for her. You don't need to be taken off. But you could do it anyway. It's your sister. Make sure she's good. A little twinning, So he got the Aaliyah shirts on. R.I.P. to Aaliyah. She was one of my favorite artists. Vanessa and Asher, they starting to get a little closer now. Now that they got it out the way, Liv knows what happened between them. She's cool with it. Asher's coming too. And she's talking about, well, it's good to have your friendship. Let's go do something this weekend, just as friends. But for Asher, he still feels like there's a stronger connection than friendship. So he's kind of trying to distance himself just for the simple fact that JJ likes her. And he's not sure that he really likes her, but he likes being around her. So he's eating the little donut or whatever it is, got crap all on his mouth. And she's like, yeah, let's go out this weekend or something. It's a new drive-in. And Asher, he ain't taking the hints. She's just trying to be your friend. But we know how this is. When people have this kind of a close relationship, things could go wrong at any minute, especially when feelings are involved. Spence got his phone open. He didn't text Liv. She ain't responded. So he just looking at his phone like, man, when's she going to text me back? Kia comes over talking about, is that my text? Oh, well, look, as a reminder, tonight I got to record you and Coop's, acceptance speech for homecoming because that's the most important thing we got. But she explains to Spencer that you and Coop, y'all really need each other. You're her Patrick to her SpongeBob. Then she made some joke about some hot Cheetos. It didn't correlate because I don't drink Brits tea, so it doesn't matter. But we get to look over and we see Jabari being harassed by the cops. Turns out the reason we didn't know about him is because he was in juvenile. He was a lookout when some older boys were breaking into a house. And ever since he got released, the cops, they are on him. They searching his locker. So he's going through it at school, man. And if you had the cops at your school and they search your lockers before, they used to bring the dogs in, and because I know when they used to go to my locker and stuff and they used to do all that, yeah, that's a whole different story. But Jabari's in some trouble because, hey, man, he got released on good behavior. 3 months. Let this kid chill. So Spencer, of course, he goes over there and he's talking to him like, dang, man, you actually pretty nice. You should come play for the football team. Jabari's like, nah, man, I ain't with all that football stuff. But, I am nice. I did all that. In some skinny jeans. So imagine if I had pads. But then he looks at Spence and he's telling him, nah, man, I ain't with all that football stuff. And plus, my grades ain't right because they ain't got my transcript from juvenile. The principal Carter's not accepted him. So that's his big delay on doing anything in the school, is trying to get his grades from juvenile to show that they're actually high enough for him to participate in sports. Now, a mama protecting her boy, that's her number one job. So Grace, she comes up and she talking to the principal, talking about, look, you need to let them boys play football because they need it. And you're depriving the kids of the resources they need to actually succeed at this school. Now, I don't know what kind of little beef you guys have, you and Billy, but that doesn't sound like Billy. Maybe you're remembering the story wrong. And Carter's like, hey, I'm not remembering it wrong. And that wasn't no kid bully. And they really whooped my ass. And then all of a sudden, here comes Spencer. Now, Spencer, he's sticking his nose into everything, all kinds of adult business. Now, he comes straight to the principal and asks him, hey, why aren't you letting Jabari's credits transfer over? Like, he got some kind of power, some kind of pull. Spencer, you are a student. Get up out my face. Whatever I got going on with the other students and their personal information, that doesn't deal with you. So get on out of here. Spence, man, this dude, he might as well run for mayor because he's looking out for everybody. For the day off, the twins go do karaoke. They start singing Aaliyah, dust yourself off and try again, try again, try again. Mm-hmm. But then they stop because they got like 5 minutes left. But Jordan actually wants to sit down and talk to his sister to clear his mind. That's what this whole day was. Skip school, clear Liv's mind because she has a lot going on. Now, they start talking about her breaking up with Asher, and she said it was inevitable, meaning she knew it was going to come, but she didn't expect the breakup to be the way that it was. And Jordan is trying to explain to her maybe that weekend at the cabin wasn't so bad. Maybe that's what you needed to clear your mind and start to move forward. Now, she starts bringing up what her and Layla got going on, and Jordan tells her, you just got to clear it. You got to come to Layla and explain to her what happened because you guys are friends. And y'all gotta try to make that happen between you two. Y'all gotta fix y'all relationship before anything. And then after that, just maybe, you and Spencer can try it again. Mm-hmm. I know a few people been wondering where the hell Preach been, but Preach been actually doing his research. He's been running around. He's been on the East Coast. He's been checking out Mo to see why she's really back. But it turns out she's actually a community activist. She's been doing a lot of work up there in Philly. She's been helping out. So that's what she's doing out here. She's trying to get the community back together. And Preach is talking to Coop like, man, I went gone. Now you out here. You running for a homecoming queen and stuff. But listen, whatever you and Spencer got going on, y'all may make up, y'all may become friends again, y'all may not. But as an adult, one thing you gotta know is you still gotta move forward. Don't hold your life back for anybody. Like I said earlier, you may have a disagreement with somebody, you still have love for them, you just don't mess with them. So you gotta keep moving forward with what you got going on. That's all Preach is trying to tell Coop. Look, y'all become adults, y'all might go separate ways, but that's life. You still got to live your life. Don't hold it up for anybody. Oh, it's getting interesting now. Layla and Spence finally run into each other, and she just, at this moment, she lets Spence have it. And she pretty much tells him, look, earlier I was hurt, but you don't know what I can handle. I went to rehab. I handled that. I owned that. It's so much about me, Spence, you just don't know, and you'll never get to know because what you did was wrong. And with my best friend, and Spencer just sitting there like, dang, I ain't expected to be grilled like this in public. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I expected. But Layla, she had to let it out. She had to let Spencer know this is exactly how she felt and why. Now Coop has to clear her mind and pretty much get Spencer out of her head. So what she do, she gathers up everything that has to do with her and Spencer. Little kid pictures, like t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. Now she has a whole box, you know, and it's like, damn, you really got all this stuff for you and Spence? Me and my homeboys and all the people I was close with, we ain't have nothing of each other, maybe a video game, but a whole box of things. So she brings it over to the house and Grace says, look, I'm not going to get in between you and Spence. That's between you two. You two have to handle that. So take that box, get all that junk, and get up out my house. And when Spencer comes back, give it to him. That's how you end a relationship. As an adult, you're growing up. You got to do this face to face. You can't just drop it off and then dip. Nah, you got to see Spencer and tell him, hey man, you know, here go all your stuff. We good. Friendship's over with for real. And that's all Grace is trying to let her know. But she knows they're closer than that, and this isn't going to be the ending point between the two. Asher been working his butt off. I'm talking about my boy back on the team. He been starting. He's helping all the players out. But coach comes out and she says, Asher, we're going to move you to the second team. And Asher gets offended by this. But what she's doing is we're going to move you to second team because you're doing so good on first team. Help these people learn the playbook and bring them up. So it's really a compliment. So Asher was like, oh, man, I thought you were demoting me. Oh, did this have something to do with your daughter in this weekend? She's like, wait, my daughter in this weekend? After practice, you're going to explain everything to me about you and my daughter and what y'all got going on. So Asher brought up Vanessa, and it actually just drug him into some stuff he didn't want to be into. Keep your mouth closed, Asher. You're talking. That's how you got in trouble for everything. You're running your mouth, man. Now, we all know Spencer is pretty much the assistant coach at this point. He's telling Billy everything he needs to do. Billy comes over and he's telling him, look, we're going to bring some players up from JV. just so we can fill out the roster. And then Spencer goes into, yeah, man, it's just a lot. I want to tutor the students to help Jabari out, to help bring up the grades of everybody else. And Billy's telling them, look, you can't do all this by yourself. You really can't be a hero. But all of y'all out there and me, we're like, Spence, this is not your job to make sure that everybody's straight. It's your job to do your job. That's be a student, play football, make sure your brothers and your mom is straight. And Billy's just trying to tell them, look, let other people help out, Spence. You can't do it all by yourself. You got to calm down. I tried that before, and I just took a step back, and I looked at it, and I helped where I could. Layla just ain't, this ain't her day, man. Now it's round 2. Now her and Liv get into it, and they start going at it. And you know, when women start arguing with each other, they start digging deep. But one thing I noticed is these are high school students, but every time you see them, they're having adult conversation. These two are acting like Liv and cheated on her husband. Like, come on, man. She's trying to tell Liv that you're not a friend. You don't have any loyalty. And Liv is telling Layla, no, Spencer actually cares about you. It's just you guys weren't together at that time. And matter of fact, this whole time you were trying to hype me up with Spencer, but you turned around the next month and you start dating them. So these two, they both, their friendship is kind of weird because they both mess with Asher. They both mess with Spencer. It's just weird how these two relationship is. I don't even know how they're still friends, to be honest. Now they got everybody in the Beverly Hills Cafe looking like, damn, what they arguing about over there? Hey, if I work there, y'all got to get out of here with that nonsense. But Liv gets her points off too. When you was in rehab, it was me. I was the one looking out for you. I put our friendship on hold. I was trying to make sure we're good. So don't try to flip this on me because it's not all my fault. Layla, you had something to do with this. When I told you I was struggling with drugs, you told me, and you were my best friend, you told me you didn't know it was that bad. That means you weren't even caring about looking out for me. Like I said, I don't know how these two are even friends still, but somehow they're going to pull through it, hopefully. Spencer finally gets to the cafe to do his little speech. And when he gets up there, Coop is already in there, but they're trying to avoid each other because of their little issue, which really isn't an issue. It's just Coop being in her feelings, but it is what it is. Now Spencer gets up there and he breaks it down, and I'm gonna sum this up for y'all. He gets up there and he said, I had somebody ask me, what is a king? And then what is a queen also? And he starts to break down how everybody at the school has a different superpower, but when you bring them all together, we make one, which would make a better thing for the school in general. So we gotta all know our talents. He even gives Coop credit. She's a queen. She has resilience, meaning she's fighting back. She was labeled a snitch last year. 2 years, like, come on, man. People are bouncing back. We got to come together. And we got to all do it together because I realized I can't do this by myself. Turns out Jabari showed up too. He said, Kia, text me and let me know, hey, Spence was about to be up here doing his little speech. Now he comes over and thanks Billy and Spencer and says, hey, thanks for getting my credits transferred. And they're saying, hey, we didn't have anything to do with this. So it must have been Principal Carter kind of having a heart. But Spencer's like, hey, I'm starting a tutoring thing. If you want to come, I can help you get your grades up. But Jabari says, help me get my grades up. My grades are good. I'm trying to be a tutor and help everybody else out. Now, he had his grades. They were where they need to be. He just made a mistake and went to juvenile. Now, once they got his credits, they see he's good. So we might have a new defensive player on the team. Okay, we making a little bit of moves in Crenshaw. Asher and Vanessa. Okay, now this is an interesting one. We don't know if they had any kind of physical relationship. All we know is over the summer they were together. They were going for morning jogs. They were kicking it in Mexico. I'm talking about these kids is living like they the millionaires. They the rich ones. Now Vanessa pulls them over to the side while JJ and Jordan, they're over there. We know Jordan, he's noticing everything. He says, JJ, if you and her are getting so close, why is she talking to Asher? Well, it turns out she's just telling Asher, look, we're friends. I wanted to go to a movie with you because that's the connection we had. And now you told my mom that we got something going on. That's not what it is. We're just friends. So Asher not being able to read the room, and he hasn't been good with women we've seen since season 1. But he's thinking, oh, my bad. Let's start fresh, as friends. And maybe we can make it work. But, anything that happens like this, they're going to get closer. Because Liv is gone. Yeah, It's gonna happen. Now, Coop gets up there and she starts talking about being a queen, and then she thinks, you know what? In order to be a queen, you gotta be in the kingdom. And this isn't what I thrive for. My fame and my destiny is on a different stage with a different microphone. And she says, I respectfully decline this, and she walks off stage. And she says, Kia says, it sounds like you just quit school. And she says, I did. And they look at Spencer like, hey, are you going to stop her and say something? Hey, if I'm Spencer, I'm like, hey, Coop, hey, don't quit school. Don't quit school. Well, Coop's, she quit school. Now, Jordan, being a married man, he's a little more advanced than everybody else now. You know, I got the qualifications. I got the ring. You know, I'm out here married. He actually meets up with Layla and he starts talking to her because at this point, he's the mutual party. He doesn't have any dog in any fight. I'm still cool with you. I'm cool with Spence. That's my sister. So I'm just here and I'm just trying to be the voice of reason. He just letting her know, listen, whatever you got to talk about, you can talk to me because I know everybody and I kind of know the situation. And for Layla, she finally has someone that she can talk to that's in the, in that environment with all of them. Because other than that, who does she have? Coop, who's about to drop out of school, and then her dad, JP, who's just out here stealing songs and running businesses. So it's really her connection to Jordan, and it's good to see. Billy ends up running into the principal. He's like, hey, thanks for, clearing up Jabari and getting his records and stuff over. And Carter tells him, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for this school. But this isn't going to stop anything between you and I. So Billy tries to squash, whatever beef we had, it was just childhood. But Carter, being the weak guy that he is, he can't grow up and grow past. He's like, man, that wasn't no kid stuff, man. You broke my ribs, man. You made me have to leave. And Billy's trying to say, hey, bro, that wasn't me. So I'm thinking there's going to be a story that comes out, a flashback where Billy was actually trying to save him. It's just he's the first person he saw after he was getting whooped on. So when he looked up, he probably seen Billy trying to help him and was like, don't help me. Because I doubt Billy was really whooping ass like that. Liv takes Jordan's advice. She pulls up on Spencer. Now, he texted her earlier in the episode, remember? She never responded, but now she's in front of him. She responds and it says, hey, do you need a ride? So, hey, Liv got the man of her dreams. Spence got the woman. Happily ever after, right? Nah, not in America. Not in all America. No, sirree, Bob. Happily ever after, right? No, no, no. So these two lovebirds, they're riding together. They're talking. Oh, it's so good. We're finally together. They holding hands. Ah, la-dee-dee. They're looking into each other's eyes. Spencer talk about, hey, pull this over. I can't wait another second. I need me a kiss. I've been waiting on this. They don't pull over. They pull over in the back of somebody else's car. Liv's ass, she driving. Oh, pow! She hits the back of a car. Now, guess what she just asked Spencer? Hey, you got to switch me seats because I've been drinking. Now, she was drinking before she went in there and talked to Layla. Now her ass is about to have a DUI. She really wants Spencer to put his life on the line because you've been drinking. Listen to that, fellas. Be careful with these women. They're going to put you in situations you don't want to be in. Spence didn't ask her to pick him up. Spence didn't say, drive me home. She did this. She got drunk. She drove. She hit a car. Now she wants him to say that he hit this car. Spencer, don't do it. Do not do it, brother. And that's episode 8 of All American. Let me know, would you, if your girlfriend, your new girlfriend, y'all haven't even been together for 10 minutes, wrecks a car and been drinking, are you switching seats with her as a high school student? I'm going to tell y'all this. I ain't, but let me know what y'all think below. That's episode 8 canceled. Oh my goodness. I said it in my little what's next video. They're going to leave us on a cliffhanger. Let me know what you think about that. I'm MoedotJ. Thanks for watching. If you like the content on the channel, hit the subscribe button. Definitely give me a like button. Hey, episode 9, they better come back and Spencer don't do nothing stupid. I'm MoedotJ and I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.